friends, welcome to the very first video for Whimsyween 2018. If you don't know what Whimsyween is, it is a prompts list that I use at Halloween time to be inspired to create Halloween-like content. It's taking all of the scary, ooky, kooky, spooky, drama, blood, guts, and gore of Halloween and kind of ditching that and adopting more of a whimsical approach to it. So less demons, more fairies, which is much more palatable for me. So it is it was very gratuitous, but I had to make the prompts list just to kind of suit the stuff that I wanted to create during Halloween. Actually, in all transparency, that was how the list came to be and where I pulled the inspiration from, but the whole project in itself, Whimsyween, was destined for a design team that I was a part of last year, and then I was let go from that literally at the time that I was putting it all together and out, so I co-opted my own project for myself. And last year, because I guess if you're going to go back and look at it, it doesn't look like there's a lot of content there, and it doesn't look like I really got involved with Whimsyween, even though I had, a few Instagram posts, and I had my Halloween video series, which was super fun, and I, kind of tied Whimsyween into that. I actually missed out on doing a lot of the prompts because I was so busy with Inktober, and so this year I really don't want to miss the window of opportunity to get into Whimsyween. So there's no upload schedule or anything. There's no I haven't committed to doing every single prompt from the list, but I just want to create and have fun and play in whatever way I feel like playing with all of these prompts. And because they're stuff that just, really speaks to me, because they came from my head, I feel like it's the most exciting thing for me to do, because I've, as I came up with all the prompts, I had ideas for every single one of them. So who knows in what form the content will come at you. I don't know if there'll be Whimsyween videos that will be not related to the prompts list at all, but just keep an eye out. It will be whatever it is, I guess. I think Inktober is my big project right now. Like, that feels like my work, and then Whimsyween feels like my side play. Like, I get to just have fun. There's less pressure on Whimsyween. I don't have to learn anything. I can illustrate something if I want to. I can do the sketch flicks for Whimsyween. There's like 4 movies that I want to watch and do sketch flicks for, which works out to 1 a week. So let's just see if that happens. That just seems like the most, but when have I not been the most? So you might get 1 sketch flicks a week. Who knows? We'll just see. I foresee a day in my very near future where I just sit on the couch, completely surrounded in fun-sized chocolate wrappers and just sketch flicksing the entire day. Like 4 films, one after the other, bang, 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 bang. And that just seems like heaven to me right now. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I really want to get into Disneyland and Urban Sketch in there, since they've got all their fall decor all around the park. I did a video in Playtest Patreon over the summer, Urban Sketching in Disney's California Adventure, and it was one of my favorite videos to do, selfishly because I got to spend the day in Disneyland, but it was also really fun to kind of figure out that whole urban sketching life. It's really much more difficult than you would think. Mainly being with everyone watching you, or everyone kind of, being in your process. It was a lot. And then I found out I couldn't stand up and draw to save my life. So I would actually really love to go and do it again. I don't know if I'll do the urban sketching per se. Maybe I might just go in and have some fun and vlog the day and maybe journal about it afterwards. I don't know, but that is definitely on my cards to do as well. Not promising anything, as per usual, giving myself a get out of jail free card with that, but that is definitely something I want to do, and usually it's the stuff that I want to do that ends up happening. Unfortunately, but fortunately as well, you know what I mean? Like, if I've been on both sides. I've been and I still am. I'm the content consumer and a content creator. And as a consumer, I'm sitting there and I just want what I want from one of my favorite creatives. If they say they're going to do this, and I just want them to do it yesterday, and I'm super excited for it. And if I can request something, I'll definitely just get whatever I want out there. But as a content creator, I tend to be very independent about it. I don't tend to really ask for ideas or kind of like suggestions, because then I feel obligated, and with a sense of obligation always comes a sense of pressure and expectation. So I just like to leave all of that at the door and give myself all the get out of jail free cards. So in essence, I'm doing the same thing with Whimsyween. The content offering will be varied in scale, size, and scope, I guess. I don't know. today is really simple, I would assume. Even though it took me an hour and a half to just sit down and play over 2 different days, I'm using the same prompt, the MerMarionettes prompt. Oh, fun fact, halfway through I had a crisis and I thought, what is a marionette? I thought, isn't a marionette the one that sits on your lap and you have to speak for it like a ventriloquist? But then it was a ventriloquist dummy, but I didn't know the word in my head at that point, and I was thinking, did I put a prompts list out there and I meant to say like mermaid puppets, but I used the wrong term, so I had to stop, Google marionette, and make sure that it was the thing with the strings. And when I found that out, I was much happier, just moved forward. But today I'm just playing in my a little traveler's notebook, a little lightweight paper traveler's notebook. Didn't work great with the Copic markers. I'm not quite sure what it is. I think maybe there's a coating on that Tomoe River paper that doesn't lend itself well to the alcohol markers, or maybe it's just too thin. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't have the nice flat lay of color that I'm really used to with the Copic markers. They're an alcohol marker, so if you haven't used alcohol markers before, there's a slight learning curve to it. My biggest tip is that if you go slowly, to get them to blend and have a really flat lay of color, you want to be working like wet ink into wet ink. You don't really want to have an area dry and then try to go back over the top of it, because you'll either saturate it more or you'll create streaking. So you've got to work in kind of smaller areas and keep that ink really saturated as you're blending in your colors, or even if you're just doing a large surface area with one color, keeping that area wet. It's tricky, and then obviously if you're marker runs out or dries out as you're doing it, you're gonna have no hope. But yeah, I really love them for that flat lay of color. I've been using alcohol markers since I was 15, maybe 15. I used them for the first time at high school in design and technology when we were learning how to render. Wow, I really need to take that family vacation quickly. My accent is, to me, I feel like it's borderline just completely gone. I know it's not, and I know that I probably still sound like I have an accent, but to me what I hear is just such a bad hybrid of American and Australian, and not even just American, but Californian in particular. And it's such a struggle for me not to say like all the time now, which was a struggle when I was a teenager as well, because jamais. Hello. Has anyone ever seen Summer Heights High or We Can Be Heroes? That was the first one she was in. Jamais, private school girl. She's foul. Like, honestly, don't go and watch it if you're not into that type of humor. But I was kind of, those were my formative years. I thought it was very cool to be like Jamais. Or rather, I was just naturally a bit like Jamais, and if the shoe fits. But yeah, so I don't know, I could just hear myself now. But essentially what I was trying to say is I feel like this was a very low-key, kind of just stress-free play. Kind of just like a fun little session that I got to experience, and that's what I feel like Whimsyween is going to be all about for me. I'll do the serious learning over on Inktober. I'll do all of the the grand ideas and the grand plans for all of that over there, and leave that to be the big job that I have to do in October. And then Whimsyween's going to be just some de-stressing, just some casual content, just sitting down and having fun on camera and see what happens. No pressure to put anything out, no expectations of what's coming, and usually when that happens it becomes it's usually a good thing when that happens. So who knows, I feel like we've set each other up for success. Hopefully you're having fun with the prompts. I've already seen some really great stuff. I love that everyone jumped on it as soon as it came out, because it just inspires me to keep going, you know what I mean? I can pull inspiration from a bunch of stuff that's already out there. And I'm going to leave you with one more top tip. I know I said about the alcohol markers, but I just wanted to say, if you're doing any of these prompts, especially as you're watching them, please feel free to have a go at what you're seeing on the screen. I really don't mind if you just want to copy, if you just want to have a play. It just really doesn't bother me. So if you want to recreate this MerMarionettes and you don't have this, the coloring book that I'm using from Mermaid, one of the top tips I have is that when you're drawing the strings, just draw them straight off the top of the page. You don't need to draw the little stick that holds all the strings on, or a hand or anything. You can save yourself a lot of pain, trial, tribulation, and effort if you just draw the strings going all the way off the page. So that's my top tip for today with alcohol markers and how to cheat the marionette strings. Hope you had a good time watching. I'll be back with another Whimsyween video very soon and another Inktober one tomorrow. Bye.